Hello everyone and good morning to the students of grade 4. Our lesson today will be two parts. The first part is grammar, which is titles, and readers and writers notebook. Check this in your book page 432. In titles, we're gonna learn today how to capitalize and how to put the titles, or how to write the titles while we are writing a title of a book or a magazine. So in your book, you'll find in here in titles, and you're writing, underline the titles of books, magazines, and newspapers. So the first rule today in writing the titles is to underline the title of books, magazines, and newspapers. When these titles appear in printed material, they are set in italic type. Italic type, it means like this one in here. This is the meaning of italic type. It means they bend it to the right. Okay, it's not straight like this one. So this is the meaning here of italic type. In the first one, you'll find in handwritten, New York Times, for example. In the handwritten part, you'll find New York Times, time, and Stuart Little. This part in here, they underline it, because if you are gonna write a title of a book or a title of a magazine or a newspaper, you're gonna underline it like this one in here. But if you find it in a printed book, it will be like this one in here. It will be like New York Times, time, Stuart Little, because it's italic part. So this is the first part. In the second part, put quotation marks around the titles of stories, poems, magazines, articles, and songs. Like in here, we sang America. Look, they put here quotation marks. This is what I call a quotation mark. Yeah, this symbol in here is a quotation mark. This one and this one, this is quotation marks. Okay, because America, this is a song, so we put the song like in quotation marks like this. The song, the article, so we put the titles of stories, of poems, magazines, articles, or even songs. We put them in quotation marks like this one in here. So America, and the Ms. Collins recited F. In F here as well, we put quotation marks. So we learn in the first rule, guys, in here, that in the handwritten part, we underline the titles of magazines, poems, or stories. In the second part, in the printed books, you will find all the titles of books, magazines, or even songs. You will find them in italic form, like this one. Italic, it means that they bend the writing into the right a little bit, like this one. And the second rule in today's lesson is that we put the titles of stories, poems, magazines, and articles, and even songs, we put them with quotation marks, like this one in here, and like this one in here. Okay, guys, so this is the second rule of today. The third rule is capitalize in here. Capitalize the first word, the last word, and the other important words in titles. Like what? Let's apply this part. Like in here, for example, I was with Washington at Valley Forge. I was with Washington at Valley Forge. If you look at this part, you will find that they capitalize the first word, which is I, and they capitalize the last word, which is forge. So they capitalize I in here, and they capitalize F in here. What else? And other important words in the titles, and even if you have other important words in the titles, capitalize them as well. Like this one in here, Washington, like Valley. So we capitalize them because they are important. Capitalize all forms of verb to be. If you have any form of verb to be like am, is, are, was, were. So am, is, are, was, were, all of them, they are verb to be forms, so we capitalize all of them. So we capitalize the first word in the sentence, the last word in the title, and we capitalize all verb to be forms, and we capitalize all the important words in the title. What else? Yes, focus in here. Do not capitalize the following short words unless they begin or end a title. The articles a, an, and the. The articles a, and the, do not capitalize them, guys. Do not capitalize them if they come in here in the middle of the sentence or of the title. But if they come at the beginning or at the end, so in here you have to capitalize them. So the articles a, and the, do not capitalize them unless they begin or end a title. Do not capitalize a, and even the, a and the, do not capitalize them if they come in the middle of the title. But if they come at the first or at the end, so capitalize them. After that, guys, the conjunctions, it means the linking words like and, like but, like or, do not capitalize them. And the prepositions with fewer than 5 letters, such as to, for, in, of, on, at, or even with. So as, for, in, so, of, on, at, with, all these prepositions, do not capitalize them. Like in here, you will find that at is a preposition and it's not capitalized in here. So let's revise this part again. We capitalize the first word in the title and the last word in the title. We capitalize all the most important words in the title, like this one and this one, like Washington and Valley. We capitalize the verb to be forms like am, is, are, was, were. We capitalize them. But we do not capitalize. We do not capitalize the prepositions like with, like to, like for, like in, of, on, at. We do not capitalize them. And even we do not capitalize the articles like a, an, and the. We do not capitalize them unless they started the title or ended the title. If they come at the beginning in here or at the end of the title, we capitalize them. If not, we do not capitalize them. Okay, guys, so they must come at the beginning or at the end to capitalize them. But if a, and, the come in here in the middle, so do not capitalize them. Okay, that's today's lesson, guys. Let's check down in here the directions. He said in here, write the title in each sentence. Number 1, our class is making a book called Getting Creative. So the book Getting Creative, it's italic in here. You will find it italic like this. Italic, it means that it's a title of a book, magazine, or a story. So we put them in here like this, Getting Creative. The second one, Tori contributed. Contributed, it means share or take part in something. Contributed a poem called Total Eclipse. Total Eclipse, so I'm gonna write it like in here, and I'm gonna take out this one in here. I'm gonna take out this point or the full stop at the end. I'm gonna take it away because it's as I told you, it's a title. Okay, down in here, correct any mistake in capitalization in the title. Write correct if the title has no errors. No errors, it means no mistakes. The Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings. This is correct. Why correct? Because they put in here the capital. But teacher, you told us that a, n, and the, we mustn't capitalize them. Yes, if they come in the middle, but if they come like this one in here, like that in here, it's not capitalized because it comes in the middle of the sentence. But if it comes at the beginning like this one, we capitalize it, or at the end even. Okay, so this one is correct. And down here, when we were very young, the word when we were very young, they capitalize we in here. They put when, we capitalize we, and where, we capitalize where, because I told you we have to capitalize all the forms of verb to be. Am, is, are, was, where, we have to capitalize them. And very, capitalize. Young, capitalize. And then we put what, underline in here. So this is today's lesson, guys. I'm gonna let you check the last page in here as well to make sure that you understand. Yes, in titles in here, you will find it in Readers and Writers Notebook page 439. The first one, after reading this part, you will find that my dad's favorite book is News of Century. News of Century, this is the name of the book. This is the title of the book. So they wrote it in here in a wrong way. So if you go down in here, what a change, if any, should be made in sentence number 1. Yes, we have to change that form of the title to be like this one, to be News of the Century. To make it capital, this is number 1. To capitalize all the words in here and to underline it. Number 2, I used to get a magazine called Highlights for Children. If you go down to number 2, you will find that what a change, if any, should be made in sentence number 3. Let's read number 3. On one article called You can be a writer was interesting. So one article called You can be a writer was interesting. If you go down to number 3, you will find that what a change, if any, should be made in sentence number 3. Yes, change you can be a writer to you can be a writer. Okay guys, number 3 in here, yes we did it. Number 4, it also had a poem I learned it called The Sunrise and Sunset. This is the title of the poem, Sunrise and Sunset. So we have to change it into Sunrise and Sunset like this because it's a title. Number 4, or question number 5, it will be about number 5. Sometimes it has the words to songs such as My Darling Clementine, for example, this one. Okay, this is a name of a song, but really I haven't heard about it before. So it will be, yes, it will be like My Darling. I don't know this one how to pronounce it, even it's Clementine or Clementine, I don't know, it's a name of a song. So to My Darling, and then we have to change it into this one. Okay guys, this is today's lesson. I hope you understand. And the second part of today's lesson is writing about the non-narrative or the non-fiction narrative, or the narrative non-fiction. I'll put another link in closed dojo for you for the previous video about non-fiction or non-narrative, the non-fiction narrative, and I want you to check the second link to watch the video about the narrative non-fiction, and please revise them, and don't forget that next week we have an online quiz. See you tomorrow guys with a new lesson. Bye.